Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Roberts. We begin tonight in the Northwest Territories, where firefighting efforts continue on multiple fronts. Crews are fighting fires near Evacuee, Fort Providence, and Jean Marie River. Evacuee and Fort Providence remain under evacuation order. Today, the temporary Evacuee evacuation center closed after evacuees from Evacuee were relocated to Yellowknife. Jean Marie River remains on evacuation alert. NWT Fire says the fire is being held at 15 kilometers from the community, just as it has been for the last few weeks. In Evacuee, NWT Fire says the north wall of the fire closest to the community remains 7 kilometers south of the airstrip. That's where it was when the community was evacuated last week. The fire has grown larger in its south end, which means it's still dangerous. In Fort Providence, the fire remains close to the community. It got just 900 meters from the southeastern edge of town, though NWT Fire says that edge of the wildfire has now been contained. The fire is over 100,000 hectares in size. Fort Providence residents are largely in Hay River, waiting for news and dealing with the stress of the situation.
I never expected, this to happen, especially for the elders, It'll be a kind of hard on them, to move away from where they've been for most of their life.
That's 76-year-old Philip Constance speaking about being evacuated from Fort Providence. He says he's doing okay, but he's still not home. Some elders from Fort Providence remain at the Hay River Evacuation Center, sleeping on cots, and that's a concern for one young person who says they should be prioritized for hotel rooms in accordance with Dene laws.
Seeing like there are still some elders that are held up in the rec center, seeing some of our people that have disabilities and some of our children that are staying here. Kind of makes me concerned because, just the space itself, we do have a lot of our members staying here. I kind of figured, like I was under the impression that they were going to be prioritized for a hotel room, so it's kind of disappointing. It's who we are as Dene people. I'm pretty sure other cultures as well. We need to be taking care of our elders. We need to be taking care of our children and the people that have disabilities as well, because that's just who we are. These are the traditional governance that we usually focus on when we're in our home communities, because, we don't really abide by modern government rules, just how we basically take care of our people. We do have a lot of our local leadership that actually stayed behind to make sure that our community is being kept safe, and a lot of our members there. So I felt like the ones that organized this, this whole thing here, that they should have been the ones to actually really look at the big picture and put the elders, the children, and people that have disability issues first.
There are multiple governments and organizations involved in creating an evacuation center like the one in Hay River, including the Northwest Territories Department of Municipal and Community Affairs, or MACA. Hay River's mayor says some people in the evacuation center are now moving to more private spaces. Candace Jameson says they're doing their best, and she knows that sleeping on cots isn't a long-term solution.
Of course, at the beginning, you're in an emergency situation. It's just getting people a place to lay down. Now, absolutely. We're slowly finding other accommodations, with beds for them, right? We've got sick people too, people that are fighting cancer or whatever that really need to be more private, more comfortable. And yeah, so those wrinkles come as you go, right? I mean, day one and day two, it was just, okay, get people a place to be and then we'll work from there. So yeah, hotel rooms are all booked, but again, that's MACA. I was in an EMO meeting yesterday, and how do we move forward? What's this look like if this turns into long term? Our people were out for quite a substantial amount of time, hoping that that's not going to happen with Fort Providence, that they can go home hopefully within the week. I'm really praying for that, but if not, they'll have to transition, right? I know that we moved babies into quieter rooms, so a lot of them got better sleep last night, and I'm hearing those kind of comments. But yeah, understanding that this is not long-term, this is definitely short-term.
You heard Candace Jamieson say she hopes the Fort Providence evacuees can return home soon, a hope no doubt shared by the evacuees themselves. At the moment, there's no indication when people can go home. In fact, as we told you on Tuesday, more firefighters are now in the community to help. A crew from Yukon First Nations Wildfire is now in Fort Providence. They'll help solidify the fire break and secure buildings across the community. The acting CEO of Yukon First Nations Wildfire says it's becoming more common to deploy staff, even at this time of the year.
We'll deploy as many as we can. Honestly, in times like these, when other provinces, territories, our neighbors are really screaming for help, we'll send over as many as we can. So we were able to scrounge up a full unit crew, which we're really proud of, and we're really happy with the relationship that we have with the government of Northwest Territories to be able to make sure we have that connection to deploy them as soon as we can.
Morrow says this is the crew's fourth deployment in the NWT this season. They'll be staying for at least the next 20 days, depending on the fire situation. Evacuees in Yellowknife got a special meal today. Representatives from the Korean Cultural Centre Canada are in town right now. They're based in Ottawa, and they travel the country sharing Korean culture. They were supposed to go to Fort Providence today to visit Daega School, but of course they can't because of the wildfire. So instead, they decided to cook a Korean feast for evacuees. I stopped by earlier to see what was on the menu. Tell me what's going on around us right now.
Yes, we plan to introduce Korean culture to Canadians in Yellowknife and Northwest Territory. And also we had a school visit to introduce Korea and share Korea pop dance and Korea food. Yes, that's what we are doing. And originally we were supposed to visit Fort Providence, but unfortunately there will be wildfire there, so we cannot go there today. But instead, we decided to provide and share everything we have with the people who evacuated from Fort Providence.
Yeah, tell me more about what you're cooking behind me and how that will be given to the evacuees. The ones in Yellowknife are from Wati as well. Yeah, some Fort Providence, but mostly Wati.
Yes, so we are preparing japchae, which is glass noodle with vegetables and meats, and bulgogi, which is made with beef, and jeokgoku, which is a Korean spicy pork. Yes, that's what we are preparing, and we are going to go to field house very soon and share everything.
It sounds delicious and it also smells really delicious. Why did you want to do this for the evacuees?
So it's kind of a cultural exchange program, but for now they are struggling with the wildfire and they are leaving, so we decided to share everything what we can. Yes.
What is the rest of your plan for your time here in the Northwest Territories?
Tomorrow we are going to another school and we will have Korean culture class, K-pop, Korean food and Taekwondo. So we are very happy to share our culture with Canadians here.
What have you thought so far of the Northwest Territories in your time here, and how have people received the Korean culture that you're sharing?
Very surprisingly, most of the Canadian here is very familiar with Korean culture. They all know Korea K-pop Demon Hunters, and they are familiar with Korean food, and they loved Taekwondo. So it was very lovely to meet Canadians here. Yes.
Is there anything else you want to tell us about your time in the Northwest Territories or what you're doing behind us?
My thought is that cultural tie is more stronger than other ties like political ties or economic ties. So cultural tie is the basic and the strongest connection between Korea and Canada. So I'd like to emphasize that we will strengthen and expand our cultural ties with Canadians.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Two Yukoners accused of Indigenous identity fraud are suing their accuser. Krista Reed and Amanda Buffalo say the accusation is defamatory and incorrect. Gabrielle Plonka has the details.
Reed and Buffalo say a, quote, relentless libelous campaign has been launched against them. The lawsuit was filed by the two women who are sisters with another sibling and their mother. It says their family has been accused of falsely claiming First Nations heritage. They're suing a First Nations woman in Ontario who goes by Crystal Semaganis. Semaganis runs a social media page she says looks into Indigenous identity fraud. She told Canadian Press she only searches someone's background if she gets complaints from the public. Starting in October 2024, she published a series of posts about Reed and Buffalo. According to the lawsuit, she accused them of being grifters, liars, and racists who exploit their falsely claimed Indigenous heritage for personal gain. The lawsuit says this is not true. It says Reed and Buffalo's mother was adopted and told she has Indigenous lineage. It says the posts have harmed their reputation and cost them future opportunities. It seeks $500,000 in damages. None of the claims have been tested in court. Semaganis has not filed a statement of defense yet. Gabrielle Plonka, CBC News, Whitehorse.
There's ongoing concern in Nunavut around fishing licenses. More than a year ago, a court struck down Ottawa's decision to allocate 3 Nunavut fishing licenses to a non-Inuit group. Now, there still hasn't been a new decision. Nunavut Tunlavik Incorporated and the Kikitani Inuit Association took Ottawa to court. They challenged the decision to give offshore fishing licenses to a coalition of 7 Mi'kmaq First Nations. In a judgment last year, they won. The judge said the allocation ignored the Nunavut Agreement's special considerations. Nunavut's fisheries minister said last week a decision will come.
I'm certainly aware of it. I know the process is continuing, and I really can't say any more than that.
That's the federal minister of fisheries. The licenses were sent back to the minister for review, but there's no indication of when a new decision could be made. The Nunavut and Northwest Territories governments are updating their agreement to work together to manage caribou herds. In a memorandum of understanding, the governments agreed to share data they collect on caribou populations and pursue the development of predator research and management programs for barren ground caribou. The new update also adds Peary, Dolphin, and Union caribou herds to the agreement. This updated agreement will be in effect until 2030. For months, Inuit communities have been anticipating the end of a food voucher program. And in Cambridge Bay, Nunavut, food bank usage has since doubled. Natalie Pressman reports.
This is normally full of chicken. This is normally full of extra, more ground beef. But with 27 clients this Monday, it depleted pretty fast.
Leonard Langan coordinates the food bank in Cambridge Bay. But lately, he says their supply isn't going as far.
We don't give a whole lot of food out. We give them basically enough to last for a day or two. And that's basically all we can do, just help them a little bit. And so we try the best we can to make sure they don't starve.
Last month, the Hamlet's food voucher program ended following changes to the federal Inuit Child First initiative.
And unless something happens, if we get another government program going on, it's just going to get more and more people coming in.
Indigenous Services Canada ran the program and made changes so families would have to apply for funding instead of the Hamlet. In an emailed statement, the department said the program is not intended to displace government income assistance through universal programs like food vouchers. Without it, Langan says he's not sure how the Hamlet will keep up. Natalie Pressman, CBC News, Cambridge Bay.
More work needs to be done to ensure equal access to public housing in Nunavut. That is according to the latest report from Canada's Auditor General's Office. The Deputy Auditor General will be discussing the report in Nunavut this week. It found the Nunavut Housing Corporation, or NHC, has poor oversight of housing waitlists, and the corporation has limited knowledge about whether the most vulnerable Nunavummiut are receiving housing. It also found NHC faces challenges to meet its targets in the Nunavut 3000 strategy. The hearings will be televised on TV and radio. They begin Thursday and end Friday. Next Monday, the 6th Assembly of the Nunavut Legislature will sit for the final time. The sitting will last 2 weeks. MLAs will discuss 5 bills about allocating money, and at least 5 bills to change legislation will also be brought forward. The government House leader says the bills will address current issues and also set the platform for the future.
Going forward, it's also with the mind of setting up the next assembly and the next government up for success and for to make some progress in the different areas that the legislation speaks to.
The 2-week sitting is taking place earlier than usual to accommodate the territorial election.
The future is everything. Stories of incredible ingenuity, dedication, and some extraordinary teamwork. This is parenthood.
Take a voyage with me to the vast, remote, most extreme place on Earth.
For many, this will be a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Where the effects of climate change are intensifying.
The poles are a very rapidly changing place.
And geopolitical cracks threaten peace and stability.
Do you think there's a security concern?
I definitely do.
Experience the historic all-Canadian mission. CBC in Antarctica. Watch free on CBC Gem.
Want to get the most out of CBC News? Use the app or cbcnews.ca for live breaking news on the stories that matter to you. Whether it's local, national, or around the world, turn to CBC News.
It makes sense that they get a larger share, or does it?
Welcome to the Greenbelt.
All of this, just single detached homes?
Yes.
What do we know? I think we can explain.
About that with Andrew Chang.
Although the NBA currently is flooded with Canadian players, this was not a reality.
A new immigration law.
This story is directly tied to all of those families who made a brave choice to come to this country.
My favorite word,
tariff. How seriously are you taking this threat?
It's the uncertainty that's the biggest issue.
Canada, we got you.
Elbows up!
In Nunavut, a decades-old landmark in the hamlet of Arviat has been restored. The cross has been a symbol in the community for at least 50 years. It fell down because of wind, and the steel cans that helped hold the cross were also corroding. The mayor of Arviat says it means a lot to have the cross standing again.
People are happy again that they could see our visual landmark of the cross again.
Prepared as a joint effort between search and rescue and the hamlet. Nunavut and Nunavut's search and rescue efforts are getting a funding boost. The federal government has announced $1.3 million for Nova Scotia's St. Francis Xavier University. It's for a 3-year project that builds on existing work done by Nunavut Emergency Management and Ketuvik civil security teams. An associate professor at the university says the project aims to identify gaps at both the frontline and organizational level.
the ability to do a high angle rescue, crevasse rescue, glacier rescue, right? Very limited north of 60 anywhere, right? So that's a gap that I think has to be some planning done around. There's gaps around things like the fact, Nunavut, for instance, Nunavik as well, they don't have regional or territorial search and rescue associations, right? So, the rest of the country does have those, and they do provide a voice for volunteers.
The manager of Nunavut's Search and Rescue Department says he's focusing on acquiring new technologies and making sure training resources are relevant to the territory.
But we would also like to create a northern specific style first aid and wilderness first aid, because all the ones that are offered in Canada often refer to using tree line stuff in their, like, building shelters and stuff. There's never really have the north in mind for things like that.
Peterson says he also hopes to work more closely with other Arctic regions. First Nations chiefs and delegates from across Canada are in Treaty 1 territory in Winnipeg this week to set priorities for the future. The theme of this year's Assembly of First Nations Annual General Assembly is Prosperity for All. As Josh Crabb reports, there's a focus on the federal government's plans to fast-track major economic projects.
Bill C-5, the Building Canada Act, has been a hot topic of discussion on day one of the Assembly of First Nations Annual General Assembly here at the RBC Convention Centre in Winnipeg in Treaty 1 territory. That act gives the federal government the power to fast-track major projects deemed to be in the national interest to strengthen the economy in the wake of Donald Trump's tariffs. But there's concern the government's bypassing its duty to consult First Nations, a constitutional requirement to make sure those projects don't infringe on Indigenous rights. That and several other economic issues emerged as the focus on the first day of the three-day assembly. There is also a push to address the First Nations infrastructure gap and discussions on setting priorities ahead of October's federal budget. Assembly of First Nations National Chief Cindy Woodhouse-Neepanak says the budget needs to address the infrastructure needs in First Nations and mistrust around Bill C-5.
As part of their Bill C-5 implementation plan, Canada has dedicated $40 million in funding to support First Nations participation in national infrastructure projects. And given the scale of the projects being suggested, threats to First Nations rights and the environment, this is very woefully inadequate.
Woodhouse-Neepanak says many chiefs are concerned Canada's relationship with First Nations has moved backwards in the wake of Trump's tariffs as the country looks to address economic issues. Speaking at the Assembly Wednesday morning, Crown Indigenous Relations Minister Rebecca Alty said that an Indigenous Advisory Council has been set up to advise the federal government's Major Projects Office. Now, this year's Assembly will also discuss other issues like First Nations policing, child welfare reform, substance abuse harm reduction strategies, and the repatriation of artifacts. It was originally scheduled to take place in July, but was postponed as wildfires in Manitoba forced thousands of people from their homes, leaving hotel space limited. The assembly runs until Friday. Josh Crabb, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Artificial intelligence is transforming many aspects of life, and that includes healthcare. Some therapists are now using it to improve efficiency, but not everyone is happy about it. Felicia Adam explains.
So now it's finished, so just for this, we'll click View. And this is the data, so the information that was talked about during our conversation.
With the click of a button, an hour-long therapy session can be summarized. Treatment plans and patient assessments auto-generated.
That looks good.
Gavin Patterson has been using an AI-powered note-taking tool for almost a year.
When I'm working with clients one-on-one, I'm able to free myself of writing down everything and be fully present in the conversation.
Once Patterson has consent from his patients, he turns on Clinical Notes AI, which listens in and transcribes sessions in real time. He says all 160 of his patients are okay with its use, and transcripts are deleted once patient progress is logged, saving him hours he would otherwise use writing clinical notes.
It gives me a lot of brain power back, and it helps me deliver a higher product of service.
He's just one of a few therapists in Winnipeg using AI-powered transcribing tools. And while the program he uses does not record audio or video, others do, like Jane. The software stores the recording and is only deleted once the clinician does so manually. But even after that, it stays in its system for 7 days.
I'm not comfortable enough with my personal information, my personal stories being monitored by an AI engine.
19-year-old Riley Gerard is worried about her privacy if the AI is brought into her therapy sessions.
I don't know who owns that information, I don't know where all of that is kind of going. I'm just more comfortable with it's written down where my therapist has it, and I trust her with that information.
It's actually easier than even hacking into a website.
Anne Kavukian is the head of a data protection agency. She says the risk of sensitive information getting into the wrong hands is even higher with AI. She's advocating for more regulations.
Medical data, therapeutic data, this is the most sensitive data that exists. So you have to ensure that no unauthorized third parties can gain access to this information.
Clinical psychologist Peter Beeling agrees with those concerns, but says the use of AI could improve care and remove memory bias.
There's things that they're going to remember. There's things that they're going to forget. And in that sense, a scribe, it would listen the whole time.
The province says there are currently no regulations when it comes to the use of AI in healthcare and therapy settings. Beeling and Kavukian say now is the time to put them in place. Felicia Adam, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A popular relay that runs through Alaska and the Yukon starts on Friday, and it's set to have its largest turnout in its 42-year history. About 2,000 runners have already signed up for the Klondike Road Relay. Participants come from all over the world. The relay's coordinator says this year, organizers are harnessing some new technology.
Teams can actually get live notifications when their racer has hit a different checkpoint. So friends, family, team members can log in to our results system and see live results coming in as the race is going.
The 180-kilometer relay starts in Skagway, Alaska on Friday evening and ends in Whitehorse the next afternoon. Now let's take a look at your weather. And that is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, go to cbc.ca/north. Thank you for watching. I'm Megan Roberts. Have a good night.